That's the tradition. But for you to ask that question, Ari, it's good. I don't know exactly why you've asked the question, but it's a real valid question, because 3 months is just a period of time. It could be 4 months, it could be 5 months, but we go in semesters anyway, so 3 months makes sense. It may be that the person volunteers themselves. This is where I am, because it affects the way that you worked with each other. As you were listening to him, you're going to be in the process now of moving away from the training. I mean, people come back sometimes, but and so you're listening to him differently than someone else would be listening to him. So it's helpful for you, and it's helpful. So, and I mean, when you come in and you give your life story every now and then, I'm notorious with it. I use the life story as a way of teaching. I mean, I don't know how you can't do that. Because it is about your story that you're living. And use is a reflection of how you are connected with who you actually feel you possibly can be. You know, if you are a little bit uncertain about how you're going to navigate the rest of your life, most everybody who, I would think, who thinks at all, asks that question. That's why they make specific choices. You'll find somebody who does an incredible amount of study and is perfectly capable of doing most any job that's worthwhile, and they choose not to do any of that. They choose to devote their life to something else. So, and it's your life. It's not mine, it's yours. And so you will take from the course what belongs to you, not what belongs to me. And one of the things that Alexander never believed in is that nobody could do the work really but him. Believed in is that nobody could do the work really but him. He really didn't believe anybody could do the work except for him in the right way. He appreciated Frank, because Frank was really bright. And he appreciated Aldous Huxley for the same reason, but he felt Huxley betrayed him. You don't betray somebody by being interested in something else. So anyway, so having said what you said, that is you are a student. In the context of this course right now, you all having heard what Christian just said, it will affect how you put your hand on him and relate to him today. So having heard what you just said, he just said, and what we've been doing, the liminal moment, if you wanted to communicate to him right this moment and validate his questioning himself, how would you work with him? Because that's exactly what you want to do in a lesson. I think that makes sense. How would you go and put hands on Christian right now, where he's simply involved in a thought process about his life, And he mentions something very, very important. What do you think that might be? It doesn't have to agree with me, but he mentioned something, my feeling, he mentioned something really important. There was something he said that's really important.
Well, it was all really important.
Okay, she's right, I give her my course. Well, the one thing that I'm thinking about.
Oh, yeah, the one thing you're thinking about is the thing that struck me the most was the internal tension that you're holding between the other things in your life that you've cultivated and this work, and how they potentially, not only does this work interfere with the rest of your life, but the rest of your life interferes with this work, right? And it's a question of priorities, but it's also a question of making them harmonize. And I can see you're struggling with making things fit together, wondering if they can, wondering if they should, wondering if you have to give up something, what it should be, how valuable is what you're getting out of each of these things, what can you compromise. That's what I got out of it.
Okay.
That was the most striking.
What a teacher, I think, in this work. Because this work makes you question yourself.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with questioning yourself. Unless questioning yourself becomes self-criticism. And the work can be that, you know. I mean, I just talked to Roger, and Roger's doing the thing that we all do. But when I'm working with Roger and he goes into his phone, it's a perfect opportunity for a teacher to go in and say, well, can you sense what you're doing with your phone? It's a perfect opportunity for a teacher to go in and catch you in the moment, rather than go, you're not doing this, which is what when Gary was here from wherever he lives, Somalia or somewhere, I don't know, Thailand. He said with the trainer for him, a woman was a husband-wife trainer. She was really good at looking across the room and saying, you're pulling down. Well, that's fun to a certain extent. But on a given day, it might really destroy the person because of what they're going through in their life. You're trying to find a place for your son, a new place for your son, a school. And so if I come over and say, well, you're pulling down, and how will you find your place? And that's not the thing to say. It's just come in and, okay, this is a perfect moment for you to observe how you're using yourself, given your story. So everything you said was perfect. And your response to me was perfect. I mean, everything was important. The thing that interests me is that his family validated the changes.
Yeah.
So he's in the midst of living in his family, and all of a sudden, the people that he lives closest to on a daily basis say, you're a little bit more together than you normally are, however they express it. But that's a lot of validation, a lot of validation. That's like the little girl saying, well, you can go have your lesson with Tommy because you're a better mom when you come home. So I think you look for how to validate what the person describes themselves as. And then go into the use. Is there, so if we were to work with Christian, how would you use your hands, yourself, to take him into a moment of self-validation, given how he's described himself? Now, it might be that you don't do anything different than you normally do. It's just you're thinking differently. And your thoughts, whatever you are thinking, are going to come through your contact with the person. The fact that Ari was interested, and how he's feeling. There's a reason for that. I don't know what her reason is. You can articulate your reason for wanting to know, which would be interesting for us. Because it might have something to do with you. Okay, well, what I gather you're saying is when he came in, he was quickly drawn to this work, not knowing necessarily why, but it was affecting him in a way that let him think about himself in a valid way. And so after about 3 or 4 lessons, I can't really remember, you started thinking about possibility of training. Well, that was a big step.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been thinking about that for a while. So it was just, when you're ready, you're ready. I think a lot of the questions that we ask other people about their motivations are really reflections of what we're thinking about ourselves, what I'm getting at. So anyway, validate. So what you could do, and I'll let everybody try it, you could go over and just give him the, what do you call it, when you, generic. Give him the generic lesson. There is a generic lesson. You change the relationship of the head relative to the organism when you take them up. The non-generic lesson is speak to who you feel they are, as best you're able to do. So he just described himself. So how would you could, one way of validating it, and you could use it, you could ask Christian to say, my family, however you want to say it, I have all these feelings about myself in this work. My family said that I'm much more, what do you say? What do they say?
My wife said, what did she say? There's a difference between the days when I'm not coming to the training and the days when I do go to the training.
Okay. It's fairly important.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that would be true for all of us. You can say something.
I mean, it just reflect when you first said my family has said I'm more centered, I thought you meant in general. And there's a slight difference
This is
between
different.
that and
This
days
is
when I
different.
go to the training are different.
But this is the perfect thing to find out, to figure it out from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because then you would say that again, and let me work with you. And it would help him embody the truth inherent in their state. Try that. If you're willing to do it.
Yeah, I'm willing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm absorbing.
So say that again. What did your family say again? When you go to the
my
training?
wife said that there's a difference between me on the days when I'm attending the training and on the days when I'm not.
And think about that now, and work with him in his thoughts.
And I guess what I had said earlier, I used the word that I'm more centered, is I think the truth in what she's saying is that the work is leading me to a more centered place. And when I'm in the practice, there's a better me. I'm more centered.
More center.
More grounded, maybe. I mean, there are many words that could be used.
So she's in a liminal moment right now. You both are. That's this moment. It's a long inhibited moment where you don't know the outcome. It's a journey. It's a process, and it's transitional. And her working with you is
What do you notice?
assisting you're letting the brain just sort of take over and orient you right now. That's its job. Rather than you using yourself from the past to identify yourself in the present. It's hard to do that, but that's what we do. Now you're talking about identifying yourself. And so she's taking you into the present.